going to be a very chill and honest sit-down talk video, so get comfortable and get your coffee or tea. Good morning! Feeling awake. Had my coffee, journaled, stretched, we're good to go. So it is a bit late. Well, it's never late to do this. We're gonna talk about our mindset to the new year. We're gonna talk about goal setting, how to set goals, what kind of mindset we want to achieve, what we want to achieve in the new year, things that I will be talking about in this video. These are not limited to just 2022, but the new year is a great excuse for you to start thinking about these and thinking about what kind of goals or what kind of things you want to prioritize in your life. What do you want out of this new year? What do you want out of your life? So that is why I'm making this video. All right, this video will be broken up into these sections. Why thinking about your mindset, goal setting, and self-reflection are very, very important. The importance of self-development, but also self-compassion. My mindset for 2022, my perspective on self-development, self-improvement, some goals that I want to encourage everyone to adopt, and everything in between. So let's begin, shall we? So every single year when I do an end of the year reflection, I always notice that I have seen a lot of self-growth, and I credit this to two things. I think I'm at the optimal age for improving, growing, learning a lot, but I also think it's the fact that I do a lot of self-reflection and also setting my monthly, yearly, weekly goals, and putting an effort into self-improvement is to be differentiated from constant productivity and being harsh on yourself. I did have a phase of being slightly perfectionistic and being very harsh on myself, setting expectations and high standards for myself that it would actually create a feeling of fear. It kind of paralyzes you. Like, what if you don't achieve this goal? My confidence would take a big hit if I don't achieve that goal. What happens when you are more self-compassionate is that you don't really tie your self-identity to achieving that goal so much. Goal setting should be something that really motivates you, not something that you fear. Goal setting is more of like a guiding thing for me. I want to go in this direction, but it's also okay if I don't achieve that specific goal or I go into a different path. But it's always really nice to have something to guide you, something to motivate you initially. So basically, it should be a balance between I am enough right now in the present moment, and also I can do it, I can achieve this, looking into your future self. So that is the core of this video. All right, so why do we need to set goals? Why is this important? Why is it important to think about our mindset? Setting goals helps you save your time significantly, actually. So you know how to organize and allocate your precious resources like your time and energy and emotions and money. And also renewing your mindset is very important. We all need to be reminded from time to time of what our core values are, of our goals and vision, what we want to do in our life. And I'm not talking about a grand sense of purpose, you know? It's not like, oh, you have to know what you want to do like 5 years, 10 years down the line. I don't, and it's fine. But I think it's good for you to try to visualize what you would want to be doing, what kind of person you would want to be. And that does not have to be defined by traditional measurements of success, how much money you're going to be making, how many subscribers you're going to have. And another reason is that as human beings, we all need some kind of narrative. So we tell stories all the time about ourselves, about other people, about how we see the world. Your life is literally the stories that you tell yourself. It is our perception that changes the way we perceive things or experience things or feel things. This can be debatable, but I think to a certain extent, we can create our own truths. So let's say there's a hypothetical situation where someone you really liked broke up with you. One story that you can tell yourself is that they broke my heart, they didn't love me, they hurt me, you know? But another story that you can tell yourself is that this was an opportunity for me to break off from something that wasn't really adding value into my life, something like that. So you can do that with literally anything. So having a strong and healthy mindset can really change your life. All right, so what are some things that you should keep in mind when setting goals? 1, setting them very high. I think only when you set the bar high, you are more likely to achieve it or at least get closer to it. So let's say your goal is at difficulty 10. You can achieve at least 8, 9, or even 10. But if your goal is at level 5, you can only achieve 5 or 4. Okay, a second thing is that I think it's good to make your short-term goals public and your long-term goals private. I think sharing the short-term goals with your friends or your family adds a layer of accountability to it. So for example, I like to share with my friends, oh, I just worked out, I just went to Pilates, and this is for a couple of reasons. First, I like just updating my friends and just letting them know like what I'm up to. But second, and more importantly, articulating these things about what you've done reinforces my identity as someone who has these positive habits, who is very consistent with my short-term goals. So it's kind of like words of affirmation, right? So the more you say it out loud, the more likely you are to be consistent with the behavior that aligns with that identity. And the third thing is envisioning or visualizing yourself achieving that goal. Because for me, it's not really about the concrete achievements. It's not like a specific milestone, but it's more about the feelings of fulfillment and being proud of yourself. And the fourth thing is embracing the unknown. There's some things that will happen to you by the end of the year that you could have never predicted. So the goals that I had set in January 2021 were not the biggest achievements when I had reflected upon my entire growth for the year at the end of 2021. You're gonna achieve so many things that you could have never predicted. All right, now I will be sharing with you my mindset for 2022 and some values that I would love to live by. Most of these values I have had for a long time now, but I am including them in this video for a couple of reasons. 1, I just wanted to refresh my mind. 2 is also holding myself accountable because I am publicizing it. 3 is just for the sake of sharing. I get a lot of inspiration and value from listening to other people talk about their values and what they believe in, so I thought I would do the same by contributing my little 2 cents. First value is that I would like to live consciously and not on autopilot, trying to remove all of the distractions in my life, trying to use my phone less, being more in the moment, appreciating the present more, being honest with myself with how I feel. And then the second thing, which I value the most, balance, work-life balance. A balance between how much you are listening and how much you are talking. A balance when you work out. You can't just have 5 leg days in a row. It's like a balance between every part of your body. Balance in style. So figuring out this balance is a pretty hard task to begin with, because figuring out your balance entails figuring out who you are, and what your optimum is. And also understanding that your balance can change at any point in your life. So it's all about figuring out your priorities and what gives you value in your life. And the third thing is obviously quality over quantity. So this is related to minimalism and the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule basically says 20% of the things that you own give you 80% of the value. I applied this 80-20 rule to every aspect of my life. First and easiest example is with my videos, although I am trying to post more, but I really value quality. And second, it would be about financial minimalism, cutting out all the unnecessary expenses. So something like traveling or spending quality time with my friends, that gives me a lot of value. So I wouldn't really mind spending more money on traveling or spending more money on buying my friends dinner. But then I think buying clothes is something that I can cut out. Constantly buying new clothes doesn't really give me much value. Another thing is with social relationships and friendships. I define quality in social relationships based on the level of our intimacy, level of trust, connection, your resources, like your time, money, and emotions. They're not limitless. I love meeting new people. It's just that when I feel like a pre-existing friendship no longer serves me, it's not like I'm gonna cut them off, but I will definitely invest less time and emotions into that person. And obviously this goes to say about toxic relationships, toxic friendships. Cut them out, say no to them, set your boundaries. They're taking away from your life. You know, they need to go. So my mini conclusion is that think of how much value each thing each person, each experience can give you. Figure out your priorities and cut out the unnecessary 80%. Remembering who you are. Everyone just needs a simple reminder. Like, confidence, I think, really changes everything. Like, having faith in yourself and also curating that really nice support system around you. Because whenever I start overthinking or feeling insecure, my friends always just give me a reminder, like, remember who you are, because you're your most valuable asset. And as obvious as it may seem, you are the only thing that defines yourself. All your possessions and money, friends, they can all be taken away from you due to circumstances, let's say, but you have yourself. There's a very big difference between defining yourself by your style versus defining yourself by the number of clothes you have or the labels of clothes you wear. So these clothes, they can all be taken away from you like that. But the style and the taste that you have curated, that is a part of you. Like, that cannot be taken away from you. So it's the difference between defining yourself as your internal qualities versus external things. Establishing an effective system. Creating a system and creating situations that maximize your potential and your abilities and capabilities. Get 8 hours of sleep every night, exercise 3 times a week, reading. That would be creating a system for you to be at your optimum. But also, I don't believe in strict self-discipline either. I would like to have a strict, effective routine, like for maybe 4 or 5 days of the week. And on the weekends, I like to just relax. I like to sleep in. Maybe I want to skip a workout. But just having that foundation for at least some days in your week is very important. The last thing would be doing the best in every given situation. So obviously, the world is not fair. You know, some people are more advantaged than others. The money you're born into, your nationality, your race, gender. So it's just unfair. But it gives me a peace of mind just assuming that everyone has the same playing field, but also recognizing that we all have our unfair advantages. So I saw somewhere that success equals hard work plus luck plus unfair advantages. So we all have unfair advantages. You might be tall, or you might be better looking, you might be more privileged, you might have an American citizenship. Recognizing what our unfair advantages are and trying to get the most out of those unfair advantages that we have. Putting in a lot of work. That is increasing the possibility of you getting more opportunities and luck. I just think that if you don't put in any work, you're not gonna get anywhere. Acknowledging that things aren't that fair, but also trying to figure out what you can leverage and also consistently putting in effort. That is what could propel you toward a positive direction. Now we're going to talk about some goals that I have that I would like to share. I will not be sharing my long-term goals, but I am completely fine with sharing some of my short-term goals. So I try to identify all of the different aspects in my life that I would like to work on. So these things would be personal, finance, social, YouTube, academics, career, and fitness. And I'm also going to be a bit generic with these because I don't really want to disclose everything. So here are some of my generic goals. So for the personal category, I would like to read more, travel more often, be out of my comfort zone, practice open-mindedness. And then for finances, investing X amount of money per month, cutting out unnecessary expenses, learning about cryptocurrency and more about stocks. And then for YouTube, it would be uploading 3 or 4 times a month, improving my editing skills, learning about cinematography, learning about online marketing. Identifying the aspects of your life that you would like to work on will be very helpful with you setting your own goals. And here are some goals that I think everyone should adopt. Working out more consistently as a habit for your mental health, for your physical health, for emotional well-being, and it would also be a way for you to practice self-discipline. Second one would be, I think, reading more. A book is years and years worth of someone's knowledge, wisdom, experience, expertise, advice that are all compressed into one book that you could read in a couple of hours. Third thing would be journaling. I have journaled since 2nd grade. I've learned so much about people, myself, the world through journaling, and it's really important to reflect upon what you have experienced and try to process them in a more formal way. It can be any form of journaling. It can be gratitude journaling, everyday 3-minute journaling, just recalling the events of your day, talking about what you want, but I really recommend journaling. journaling. Probably the biggest thing that has propelled my self-growth and learning. And also I think it's important to surround yourself with like-minded people, maybe people who share similar values as you, encourage you, give you that support system, people that inspire you, people you can learn from, people who are just as ambitious as you or just as hardworking, just as loving and caring. You don't deserve anything less than that. So I think this will be the end of this video. I'm gonna make some breakfast and get ready and go out now. What I really wanted to say is I wanted to encourage people to really think about their priorities and their mindset and what they want out of their life, not just out of 2022. If you haven't thought about it yet, just starting with thinking about this month or the next month will be a great stepping stone to think about your life as a whole. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I genuinely wish the best for everyone in this upcoming year. I'm so excited for 2022. I hope you have a great rest of your day or good night wherever you're watching, and I'll see you in my next video.